Good morning again. It is another Thursday morning, and on Thursdays we talk about geography. And last week we started about Australia and animal habitats in Australia. Before we talk about homes and shelter, let's sing the song. Do we know our continents, continents, continents? Do we know our continents? Let's find out. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Let's not forget Australia. Let's not forget Antarctica. Do we know our continents, continents, continents? Do we know our continents? Yes, we do. When we talk about houses or homes in Australia, today we will focus on Aboriginal houses and homes. The very original first natives who lived in Australia. We have a similar tribe here in America, in the United States of America, and we call them Native Americans. In Australia, they call them Aboriginals. And this is the word houses. Now, I came across a fun fact that they have different names or words to call their houses or homes. Let's go over those. The first one is Ganya. Let's say it together. Ganya. Wilicha. Again, Wilicha. And this one, I don't know if it's Mia Mia or Maya Maya. Let's do it together. Mia Mia. Maya Maya. Gundi. Together. Gundi. And the last one, Whirly. Together. Whirly. We have done a lot of reading and writing lessons. We have looked at beginning sounds and ending sounds. Let's do that here just real quick. The beginning is a G, a V, another G, and a V. And at the end we have I. So this is the flag of the Aboriginals. I was so happy to find it. It looks very different from the Australian flag that you colored last week. So go ahead and make a flag for the Aboriginals if you like to. You need 3 colors, black, red, and yellow. Let me read you a couple facts. The houses or homes that the Aboriginals lived in or live in are very simple. It says Aboriginal housing usually consisted of simple shelters made from a framework of straight branches and then covered with leaves. So they use branches, sticks, wood that is fairly straight, and then they cover it with leaves or mud or grass. Here's another picture. It is also called a lean-to. And you can see how the center stick holds everything up and everything else leans to or on this stick. I hope you can see this one. It's a triangle, right? 1, 2, 3, a triangle. And it has sticks and stones and looks like leaves to cover the roof. I'm going to read you something about colder climates. In colder climates, stones were used for the base. Now that makes sense because if it's just earth or dirt, that would get muddy, right? So stone is a hard surface they can still sit or sleep on. Timber, which is wood. Whale bones. Oh, when you look at whale bones, remember whales are so big and the ribs are arched. That would be perfect for a lean-to. They use that for the frame, and then they cover it with bark, cabbage leaves, or palm leaves, mud, and grasses. Those were some materials for the roofs. Look at this beautiful pointed dome. That is a timber or a wood frame, and it all arches to that center point, the dome. So they made a framework, and then they covered it for protection. Here's another picture in a very, very hot climate where they have a dome made out of shrubs and brushes and sticks and wood, and they find shade and shelter. It couldn't be more simple to live in such a shelter. Now, obviously, when you think of Nate and Harlow, they live in very similar houses and their relatives and families than you and I. They live in cities or out in the suburbs or in villages and towns, and they have houses exactly like you and I have. We don't really live like the Native Americans, right? And Nate and Harlow don't live like Native Aboriginals. But for this lesson, I wanted to focus on it because that is a very interesting fact and a very important tradition and history for Australia. So you have some pages of the Opera House in Sydney and some other pages like a dome that you can color, and you can cut it out, and maybe you want to make a dome structure or a lean-to out of sticks and timber. Have fun with this one, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.